going 7-9, okay? I'm not going 7-9. I'm not going 7-9. I'm not going 7-9.
Welcome to the Grueling Truth LA Rams 2.0 weekly show, brought to you by thegruelingtruth.net and Gridiron Mo, an interesting new interactive football game app which pits you against other football fans across the country in predicting the next play within live NFL games. Think you're smarter than the average fan? See for yourself at Gridiron Mo through thegruelingtruth.net or directly at gridironmo.com.
My name's Oz Davis. I'll be your co-host of the Rams 2.0 show, and joining me, as always, is former Notre Dame, Buffalo Bills, and Los Angeles Rams great Tony Hunter. Tony, how's it going today?
Oh, everything's going pretty well, Oz. Everything's going pretty well. A little bit disappointed our Rams couldn't pull that one out. I mean, our Rams could have had a little better showing, but everything's going pretty well.
Yep. Last week, Miami Dolphins 14, Los Angeles Rams 10. One really got away. I think when the Rams are looking in from the outside at the playoffs, they're going to see this game as sort of like the clincher on the season. Do you want to talk about the offense first or the defense, Tony? Because we got big stories on both sides.
You know what? I've been anxious to talk about Jared Goff. Even though we lost that game and we've been waiting a long time for Jared Goff, and it seemed to be somewhat disappointing to a lot of fans. I'm going to tell you what. I liked what I saw out of that young man. I felt like he showed great poise in that game. I felt like he was focused. I loved his throwing motion, his ball placement. I think he's a really gifted passer. I really do. I really think if he gets some things around him, if he gets the things he needs around him as far as receivers, he is going to be dynamite in the NFL. I've been waiting a long time to see, and I was impressed.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I got. I mean, he was no worse than Case Keenum, 7 of 31 for 134 yards. I don't understand all the short routes they're calling, but what have you?
Yeah, I noticed that, and I think they had and I like the conservative game plan that they had for him. I thought that was smart. Short 3-step drops, get the ball out of his hands, try to control the game with running the football with Gurley. When it started out, Gurley looked better than he has all year running the football in that first half. And I think a lot of that had to do with the threat that Jared Goff posed as a passer. And so the first half, I thought we looked great. I thought we were going to win that game hands down. But seemed like I think we fell asleep in that second half. And our defense kind of let us down. Our defense let us down a little bit this week.
Yeah. I wanted to get to the defense, but let me ask you this one really quick. It looks from the outside that what happened with Goff in this game is that he's still trying to establish those connections with his receivers. The Kenny Britts and the Tavon Austins out there. Nice to see Pharaoh Cooper get some action too. I've been waiting for this guy all year too. So is that, as a player, is that what you see going on?
Yeah, definitely. It takes time to build that, to feel comfortable with one another. It had only been a week in game-type situations, and it takes time to build a camaraderie. With your receivers, I can remember going back as far back as high school, and we used to take time during the summers and just go to a local junior high school. Tim Cagle, who was a former high school prep All-American, played at Notre Dame while he was at Moore with me. In the summers, we would get together and just go out and just by ourselves. I would run a pattern. He would take his drop. And it just takes time to get that timing together. And even then, we would have summer practice, and then before we played a game. And so Jared Goff, even though he's been practicing with those guys, it's different in a game. Things are much quicker in a game. But I'll tell you, he looked sharp to me. He looked poised, and they were putting a lot of pressure on him. I saw him take some pretty big hits, but he seemed to keep his focus, and I just love his throwing motion. And he just seems to have a lot of talent to me. And so I think just based on my first impression, I feel like the Rams made a great pick. That first pick in the draft with this guy. We can build around him.
Uh-huh. Wow, okay. There you have it, folks, from Tony Hunter himself. That's a great pick. Although, remember, folks, Tony is a famous optimist. So.
Yeah, I mean, what did he finish up? He finished up 17 for 31, 134 yards. No touchdowns, but yet no interceptions. That's not bad. That's not bad.
He looked a lot more comfortable outside of the pocket than Case Keenum ever has already. I was really impressed with that. You know, he only took the one. He was under pressure a lot. He had to dance a lot. And
yeah, he did. They put a lot of pressure on him. But I thought he kept his poise. I really thought he kept his poise.
Okay, so generally thumbs up for Mr. Goff. Let's talk about this defense. Okay, here's what I've got. In the fourth quarter, Ryan Tannehill leads a 77-yard drive and a 75-yard drive. Okay, before those two drives, Tannehill had gone 12 of 21 for just, get this now, 47 yards, no touchdowns, one interception. Okay, now, what most people say when you present them with this situation is, oh, yeah, time of possession. But here's the thing. The Rams had the ball more in this game. The Rams had the ball almost 31 and a half minutes. They actually had the advantage. They had more 3-and-outs forced than against the Rams. So they had the chance to win it. But what happened in the fourth? What gives, Tony?
I felt like I said, I felt like our defense let us down a little bit this time. And that's unusual because our defense has been really has been keeping us in games all year long, and we haven't been getting much help from the offense. It's almost as if our defense wore down a little bit. I think the injuries are starting to take effect on our defense. So that's basically what I saw. I thought that our defense let us down in this one, and can't quite put my hand on exactly what it was other than they looked to be a little fatigued. They got a little bit fatigued, and the injury factor.
It's just such a shame because to this point they had controlled the tempo. They had been forcing the 3-and-outs constantly through this game. I mean the Dolphins converted on 1 third down in this entire game and 0 third down opportunities. So I mean the defense did their job until the second half of the fourth quarter.
Right. That's what I saw. I mean, in the first half it looked like we were well in control of this game. And I thought we were going to win it hands down. And it just seemed like in that second half, something happened where all of a sudden we couldn't move the ball as well, and we couldn't stop them. It's hard to explain. It's really tough to explain.
I mean, yeah, and again, that's some of the most time of possession we've had all this year, 31 and a half minutes. So they had their opportunity. Anyway, all right, let's go on to next week because defense is going to be important next week. I saw a thing over on ESPN Analytics today where this game, the Los Angeles Rams at New Orleans Saints game is the third worst of the week. Now, I don't know how you can quantify best game, but the writer did bring up a salient point, which is this. Here's one of the league's most efficient offenses against one of the league's stingiest defenses, right? That's what we've got in this game. Unfortunately, we must also note for the Rams that our nickel corner, Troy Hill. Yes, Troy Hill has been deactivated from the roster thanks to a driving while intoxicated charge.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yes.
So here's our guy who was the best tackler in the deep field. You know, again, he's like key to the nickel, defense, and he's not playing. And New Orleans just has way too many weapons at receiver. So this spells trouble, I think, for the defense.
Jeff, when you think things can't get any worse, they do. What I heard.
Now, you're supposed to be the optimist. You're not supposed to be buying that line, Tony.
Yeah, when I heard about the DUI arrest, I said, "My goodness." Well, it's been a tough year, but we're gonna have to figure out a way to get it done because there's still quite a bit of football to be played.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, despite the fact that Goff is playing, the Rams are not mathematically eliminated yet. And there's a number of teams bubbling under right now in the NFC. Of course, that NFC East is mighty tough. They're going to place a few teams in the playoffs, so the Rams have some work to do. But, they're still not out of this thing. And this defense is a world-class defense. They can play ball, of course.
Definitely.
When we're short-handed, not so easy. On the plus side for this game, okay, here is a opportunity. Here is a chance for the Rams offense to take advantage of a pretty weak defense. Gurley showed what he can do, what he should be doing in this offense last week. So,
yes.
Saints, he could run. He could run against these Saints.
I thought that was his best showing all year last week. And like I said, I think a lot of that had to do with the threat that Jared Goff poses in the pocket. So, I was really encouraged by that, by the way he was running the football.
Yeah, let's hope. Right, okay, those who have listened to the show before have noticed that this episode of the Rams 2.0 weekly show is a bit quick. We're trying to get Tony out of here because Tony has Thanksgiving holiday plans. What are you doing, Tony?
Yeah, I'm going to head to Atlanta. I have family in Atlanta, and I'm going to go down and visit with them and just enjoy myself. And really looking forward to Turkey Day. It's been a tough season for my Notre Dame Fighting Irish as well. I tell you,
yes.
It was just like
not have an easy one this week either against USC.
I know USC is probably playing as well as anybody in the country right now, and they had a tough start. That was a really tough start, but they've turned it around. And like I said, I think they're playing as good as anybody in the country right now. And I'm not sure what the ranking is, but they're playing top 5 football right now.
Uh-huh. Hey, so I got one Thanksgiving related question for you. That's this. Okay. Aside from the turkey itself, what's the best dish at Thanksgiving?
Well, for Thanksgiving for me, and I just got off the phone with my sister.
There we go.
She's going to be making some turkey, and I love her ham. She makes the best ham in the world. So she has some turkey, some ham, and a little mac and cheese, She said she won't be doing her green beans this year, but she has her greens with the okra, and she said, "What time?" I said, "What time do you want me to make sure that I'm there?" Then she said, "If you're not here by 2 tomorrow, I'm gonna lock the door. So I got to get out of here."
All right, well, we'll let you get out of here for the Rams 2.0 weekly show here at thegruelingtruth.net. I'm Oz Davis for my co-host, Johnny Hunter. We are out of here. Happy Thanksgiving to all the listeners, and go Rams.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
7 and 9. Okay?